Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. Now, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And also, if you're listening to it on our audio channels, please give us a 5-star rating and also please subscribe. I'm very excited to welcome our next guest today. She has, as of this recording, she has over 3.7 thousand Instagram followers and 98,000 Facebook followers. She is a Spotify verified artist and a voting member for the Grammys. So please help me welcome Amiena.
Wow. That's an intro.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that I always do that for my guests because the thing is, if you're coming onto a podcast, you need to have a lot of energy and introduce your guests properly.
You did very well.
Awesome. Amiena, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm super stoked, actually.
Awesome. So let's get started. So when did you get interested in music and how did that passion evolve into a desire to pursue a career in the recording industry?
I got started in music as a child. I went to private school and I wasn't really good at sports. So I really found that I had this love for writing and singing and playing poorly. So I kind of just developed from there. So it was kind of like the natural thing to do. So singing is what I do, as you know.
Awesome. So who are your musical heroes and how do they influence your sound?
You know, recently on the podcast that I've talked about my musical heroes and such. However, I think obviously there's, Carole King and Sade and some Middle Eastern singers. But I think over the last period of time doing this project, I've discovered I'm finding my own feet, my own path. So my heroes, although they're great, I don't do anything like what they do. I don't sound like them. I don't mimic them. I just think that they're amazing. So, I think I've discovered during this musical journey on this new album that I'm just trying to find my own voice and I'm finding it.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it because the thing is, there's always one person. There's always one Carole King, one Madonna, one Amiena.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny because so often people will compare my voice to the sound of Sade or to, not that I sound like her, but the vibe and so many other singers in that style. But my music doesn't actually fit that. So it's been an interesting journey finding, different levels.
Awesome. I want to talk to you. You brought your album up. I remember it's called Flares and Halos. So how long did it take you and your team to create the tracks from start to finish?
So Flares and Halos came to be about, started probably 18, 19 months ago. It was definitely an interesting kind of collection of thoughts and ideas. My producer, who's actually Lars Deutsch, he's a composer for music on TV shows more than actually doing this. So it took us 18 months. The journey is fun, it continues to be fun. There was a lot of happy moments, a lot of drinking moments, lots of arguments, but at the end of the day, we came out with an album that literally each song is a story.
Awesome. I would love to talk to you about your songs, if you don't mind. When I started with let's start with your latest single, Great Escape, because when I was listening to it, it reminded me there are shades of Madonna's Frozen in there.
Yeah, it's so cool that you said that. I don't think that there was the intention to ever kind of do that, but Great Escape came to be, most of the songs that are written by me have some sort of personal experience. So it's like free therapy for me, intertwined within the elements of the song. But Great Escape came to be because I was in a very long-term relationship. He and I split up. He went on to get married. I was super excited for him about it, but everyone in our little circle was kind of like, really, why are you doing this? But I felt like I would have a great time writing a song about it. And then when he learned that I got engaged, he sent me an email, like, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. He was super happy because we have a very good relationship. But our song was almost, Great Escape was almost done. There wasn't really like a bridge. We hadn't finished that, but the actual song was done. And he sent in the message a thing that said, hey, if you want, you can buy her wedding dress so I can recoup some of the costs of my wedding. And so I was like, that's it. You want to make some money? Sure, I'll buy your wedding dress. And so that's kind of that little twist came into the song. But yeah, that Great Escape is part of the project, and it took. No song that we started was, I don't think we ever finished a song completely and then moved on to the next. I think we started writing different songs, and then we would go into the studio and record, and then come back and re-record because Lars is a slave driver. And really, dissect the lyrics, like that makes sense, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, it was fun.
Also, before we got on, I want to let everybody know, I was rocking out to Flare. It's a really good song. I love the hard rock elements of it.
Nice. I wrote that song, and it was kind of about the experience of growing up in the environment I grew up in. It was very sheltered, very living in a bubble. And I don't know how it came to be, but I was sitting in my garden, and in like 5 minutes, I had written the light of flare, go up in flames, kind of part. So it was a fun song to do, and it was the first song that I've ever done that has sort of like the metal elements. So I apologize to the rock world, should you be offended, but it was a fun song to do.
I gotta say, I love when artists go out and do different elements, and like I think it'd be really cool to see how you use that song in the future and use that style in the future, because that's a really good song.
Yeah, we worked with a company called Wild Goats Creative to create some media content, videos and such, and that was my first real video that had like a call sheet and tons of people and 2-day locations. And so the biggest thing I wanted was, because the base of the song was written about being in a religious environment, I wanted to burn a church down, and that's not legal. So thankfully to COVID, the company Wild Goats, they were able to find a church, I think in Eagle Rock, that would let us burn it. I don't know how they made it work, but I was super excited because it was the first time in my life I was actually able to go inside of a church and light a candle at the pulpit. So yeah, that was a fun song to record and do. So.
And that's a story that's going to come around for years to come. Like, oh, by the way, just to let you know, we faux burned down the church.
Yeah, faux burned down. That's kind of, I wanted the real thing. I was like, can we not just build like the church and like burn it in my backyard? And they were like, no, that's probably not a good idea.
Definitely, yeah. Lots of more. We would have a different conversation if you did that.
Behind probably bars.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're thankful that we're both free in doing that. So I want to move on to Halo.
Yes. Halo. Oh, you want to know about the song?
Yes.
So the song, I talked about it in a couple of other podcasts, but the song came about, I go to a cafe quite often, I frequent it, and I just sit there and smoke hookah and watch people and write. And, you see so many different people, you don't actually speak to them. If you're like me, you just watch. And I see this one individual who's always there, but he was always very ostentatious, always showing off, and drives up in a Lamborghini, and it's super loud when he's driving in, and I just thought I would make fun of him. And one day not fun of him in a bad way, but sort of, I guess. So I started calling him Halo to my fiance, and it kind of kicked in there. So now he knows there's a song about him. But basically it was just a song about hypocrisy, about how people give the appearance of they're these amazing individuals and their life is like, if you look at Instagram, like some people's worlds are just so amazing, but then you realize they are actually doing all the beach scenes from the backyard of their parents' house that has a sandbox. So it's sort of like just about hypocrisy, and it was a fun song. I fought the actual chorus, "Let me braid your halo," because I still to this day don't understand what that means. But it's kind of a funny thing to sing, and it's kicked on well. So
I gotta say, what I like about Instagram, even though you share it, there's also a negative side to it as well, because everyone needs to know that the grass is greener. Even though you see grass is greener on the other side, You don't know what's going to be behind that.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Yeah. I like that.
All right. The final song I want to talk to you about is Meltdown.
Oh, that's a blast from the past. Wow. Yeah, Meltdown. So that was with a previous producer, Adrian Bradford. And at that time I was working with a singer called Chris Mann. So Chris Mann and I both wrote that song together. And I don't know if
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Chris Mann is are you talking about Chris Mann from The Voice?
Yeah. So this was actually...
I actually previously interviewed him several years ago.
Yeah, we did that. And we also did a song called Red Light. But anyway, so Chris and I, we were introduced through Adrian Bradford, and Chris and I were working together on a couple of songs. And so he co-wrote Meltdown with me, but we actually sang together on that same little EP, a song called Red Light. And that was a lot of fun because that was around the time that he was on the show The Voice. So they kind of wanted to restructure his media and everything. And so because we had already started the project, we were able to finish it. But yeah, this was when he was there. And, later he went on to do Phantom of the Opera, and he's doing all sorts of crazy, great things now. So that was a fun song. But Meltdown actually came around. I wanted to do a song that I could mention the sun god Ra. I don't know why. I was at that point in time, I was reading some books about Egypt, and I was like, he sounds pretty cool. And so, yeah, we just sat down and wrote the song. That was a fun song.
That's a great old song. And it's a great song, and I'm very proud of Chris Mann and all the stuff he's done. He's definitely one of the top people from the show that has gone on to do incredible things.
Absolutely, yeah. He's done really amazing, and he's such a funny, down-to-earth guy. He's a clown. He's a lovely clown, but he's just a happy person. We don't actually talk all the time. Actually, I haven't talked to him in a while. I think he sent me an email a while ago, but yeah, he's a good guy. Very proud of him. Very proud of him and what he's doing.
Awesome. So we got to move on to you. This interview is about you, Amiena. So let's get started.
You brought up Meltdown. I haven't heard that song in forever. Wow.
It's a really good song. It's talk about Flashback Friday.
Yeah, there you go. Meltdown. There you go.
All righty. So let's move on. We got to talk about have you thought about your dream collaborators, like the singers, the songwriters, the producers, musicians, and how would that you would love to work with, and how would they enhance your sound?
So I was reading some of this that you were going to ask me, and I was thinking about it. And I have done, I think, 7 or 8 projects before this. I'm really not sure. But this is the first one, and no disrespect to my previous work at all, or Meltdown. This is the first one where the quality of people that have been on this project from A to Z has just been amazing. Again, Lars Deutsch, who's got 2 Emmys, 2-time Emmy winners. Sorry, not Emmys. No, nominations. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah. And then then you've got Urko, who masters for Sia and bunch of other people that I should remember, but I can't at the moment. And then you had Gene Garamaldi, who mastered the album. I went in for a couple of the mastering sessions, and I was blown away because he's Gene Garamaldi, and it's super weird and cool to see your music literally on the wall and people are doing things. So I've had such a great amount of people work on this project. The guy who did the color coding for the video. My God, I'm so bad. I should know these names.
Don't worry, Amiena. Don't worry about it.
He does all the work for Stranger Things and Star Wars. So the amount of people and the great support that I've had, I don't know that I really want to mess with that equation. I just want to keep doing more with these wonderful people and sort of make it better. Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough, because there's a lot of people that say keep on doing. For example, between I can think of Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones with Off the Wall to Bad. That they created a ton of music with that. That was an incredible dynamic too.
Yeah, and it's sort of why mess with the recipe if it's already good? You can add a little bit of cinnamon if you want, but yeah, you don't want to. And I'm not a baker, so I don't even know if you add cinnamon to things, but whatever.
Well, you can do that as well. I also love to cook when I'm not doing any of these podcasts. So
please come on over.
Alrighty, so you are a voting I want to bring up this because I rarely talk with anyone that has this distinction of being a voting member for the Grammys, because the Grammys are one of I've always made sure to cover the Grammys every single year since for a decade. So what can you describe to my audience, what does it mean to be a voting member for the organization?
Well, I'll throw in another perk for you. So Grammys has this program called Grammy Next, which I was a member of. I'm an alum of that, which is a very small thing. Most people in the Grammys don't even know about it. But that's where they put you under the mentorship of, somebody that you want to work with in terms of following that stage in the industry, whether it be a producer, a music supervisor, a musician, or whatever. So I'm alum of Grammy Next. But to be a voting member of the Grammys is it's not that easy to get in to the Grammys in terms of getting a membership, but to be a member is really just, you vote, you hear the music, you log onto the website, you're able to hear all the music that's up that you want to listen to. But there are so many categories. I can honestly tell you, I have never once gone through each and every one of them. And then you vote, usually for yourself if you're up for a nomination. If not, then you just vote for whatever you really like the most. And they have 2 rounds in the voting, and the first one is really full of tons of music. But then the final round is the one that you would take a little bit more seriously and just sort of click on through and vote again if you're there for yourself. If not, for whatever you really like. So being a member is great. Right?
Awesome. So let's talk about. We got to start writing down our conversation. So let's talk about social media. What are some of your favorite platforms that you like to promote and connect with your fans on?
Instagram. Instagram is pretty much where I am most of the time. Facebook, I think, kind of follows over there. Very bad at Twitter. But yeah, usually it's Instagram, and those are the 2 that we use the most.
Awesome. So if you had the opportunity to meet with up and coming artists who want to take their career to another level, like another professional level, what advice would you share with them?
First and foremost, I would say, without question, be patient. Literally, it's not something that happens overnight. It still hasn't happened for me. I'm doing well, but in terms of patience, and you really have to expect that the people that are closest to you that are not in the music industry may not be supportive, because they might just think that it's like a whim, a hobby, or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you really have to believe in yourself and be patient, but also be very thorough in what you decide to invest in, because everybody knows everybody or somebody if you have a budget, and you will quickly go through that. But really just finding a great team to work with is the best advice I could say, but also working with people who believe in your music as much as you do. That makes all the difference in the world. But the number one thing would be patience. Patience. Oh my God.
Absolutely. It could be for any field.
Yeah, definitely. But I think with music, it's a little bit more difficult, because this is something that you're putting out to the world to hear. It's your soul, it's your energy, it's your vibe, it's what you think, it's what you believe. And so, when you get a nasty comment on YouTube, or you get a nasty comment on Instagram, or somebody says you suck, you're like, that's not nice. And it doesn't happen all the time, but from time to time, all those positive things are great, but every once in a while, when you get something negative, it's sort of like, oh, wow, okay, I hope you're just having a bad day. But yeah, it can tear at you, because it's what you're exposing yourself to the world. So yeah, I think it's brave to want it to be in this field.
Absolutely. Now, Amiena, where can my audience find your music and also connect with you on social media?
If they go to my website, which is www.amiena.com, all of the stuff is there: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. But my handle for Instagram and for Facebook is Amiena Music. So it's pretty simple, as long as you spell my first name right.
Awesome. Now, guys, if you missed an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, we have our audio channels on Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. Just type in Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. Once again, JACOBELYACHAR. Now, are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too. Head over to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube pages. Once again, it's Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. I just want to let you know, Amiena, that jakestake.com, the podcast, the blog that started it all, the website that started it all, is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, 10 years is a long time.
You've had a lot of patience at this too.
Absolutely. Patience is a virtue, and also it's helped me grow and interview, like not just with you, but also Chris Mann. And also, I've had a lot of articles with America's Got Talent, Masked Singer, The Voice, and you can listen to my music reviews as well. They're all on jakes-take.com. Once again, it's jakes-take.com. Now, guys, if you're financially able, please consider heading to PayPal to keep jakes-take.com and my platform up and running. However, if you're unable to do that, I totally understand. I totally get that. But please subscribe and please follow and please follow my channels as well. And thank you very much, Amiena. I had a fabulous time talking with you today.
Likewise, and I'm gonna go follow you on YouTube right now.
All right, same with me. Same with me. And guys, thank you so much for your time listening today or watching. And have a great one. And we look forward to seeing from you soon. Goodbye.